I'm Mika. I'm a producer, recording engineer, sound engineer, live sound engineer, mastering engineer. I've done thousands of concert recordings, thousands of concert recording mixings, thousands of live shows in Finland and abroad. I've done this 30 years now. I started when I was around 15 with my own band, with the 4-track recording machine, and here we are now. Welcome. The band that we are looking today, or in these videos, is called Offknives. They're from Kokkola, local band, really good band. I would like to see them do more good music and see them play all around the world. The band is really good. I like it. The music style is heavy metal, and the song is called Bathe, or Bathe, or it's written Bathe, so I don't really know how to pronounce it. And actually, sorry about my English. I have never done this in English. I've done my videos always in Finland. But I wanted to grab a bigger audience, so that's why we are speaking English now. Well, here we are in Kokkola, my mixing studio. Welcome. Let's jump into the session. I have a session file here. I've used Pro Tools for over 20 years now. It's the go-to software for me. I like to use it. I see myself using that all of my career. I've used Reaper, Waves Tracks as a live thing, recording things, but in a studio situation I always use Pro Tools. Plugin side of things, I mainly use Steven Slate plugins. When the Steven Slate plugin and the virtual mix rack came around, I jumped straight away in, and I haven't looked back. I use Steven Slate's, Waves, and Avid's own plugins in usually. Some other plugins also, but those are the main plugin developers that I use. Here we have the session folder. All of you that are familiar with Pro Tools DAW, this is a normal situation. But why I want you to see this is how I've labeled the song order, or the order I have worked with. I try to always do it like this. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I'm in a hurry. I jump over things, but this is the way I usually would like to do things. So first of all, there's the name of the band, Offknives, the order of the song, that was 6th song, song name Bathe, and the order of the number order, which was the first thing I did, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, and 5th, and so on. And after that is what I did in that inside that Pro Tools session. So if we look, the first one here is the drums, second one is drum edit, third is import, fourth is edit import, and fifth is mix. So in this session we did a long EP, or well, it's EP I think. They dropped few songs. I think we recorded like 8 songs, and they dropped 2 or 3 songs away, and then released it when they released it. We recorded these, I think 23, and my role in this album and this song was record drums and then mix the whole session. Bass, guitars, keyboard, vocals, the guys recorded themselves and give it to me, and that's why we have here drums and then imports and then mix, because I did the drums and then I imported in the files from the guys. We are now jumping first into the drum session. and let's see what we found there. I was actually kind of surprised because I have templates that I use, and I try to evolve my mixing things and change my mixing go-to mixing things. I've used the same things, but I changed the type of way I'm mixing or editing stuff, so I'm not stuck in the one thing. And I noticed this is when I recorded this in 23, and I mixed it in 24, and it's now 26. And inside that it changed so much, because inside editing part nowadays is for me is also editing the files, but it's also gain staging and EQing also. But in this, when I looked at the sessions, I was like, wow, I didn't do that, or so much. I did a little bit, but in some ways I do it more nowadays. But it's good to know that I'm changing and evolving forwards. But let's jump in. So we have Offknives song 6 Bathe 1 drums. And here we go. A little bit about the recording session. I work in two schools, nowadays in one music school in Kokkola, Finland. I've been working there 23 years as a studio, mixing, recording, mastering engineer, producer. Also, I do all the live shows. I do all the lights also for the shows. So I mix the live shows, I do monitors, I record the shows, and then I'll do the lights of the show, and then I mix the shows in the studio to our school library and for the students and so on. The drummer is still in our school as a student, and the guitar player of the band was in our school back in the day, and that's why we got to use the facilities in our school. So usually when I do something, I rent a studio from somewhere and record stuff there, and in my mixing room I mix the thing. It's a really small room, so I can do recordings here, vocal stuff like that, but not bigger than this. But it was a good thing for us to record in the school, because it's familiar place for me and familiar place for the students, and it was easy for us. In there I had a console, Midas M32, and nowadays I have a different console there, but back in the day we had Midas M32, and the way the audio goes in, it goes to the preamp, and after preamp it goes to the USB card and to the Pro Tools. But in this session I wanted to EQ in the way in to the session, and normally I do that also in whatever recording session I do there, and that's why we are looking now aux channels in here. We have 21 aux channels. That means we have 21 inputs going in, and then we have 21 tracks here where the audio goes. Then we have the P16 personal monitoring system, reverb, click, master, and then the demo. So the guys brought me a demo with guitar and bass and click track, and that against that we recorded the drums. There is tempo changes in the song. We started 135. At one point it changed it to 215 and then 144. And a little bit about the session, I usually do markers. See here, so here we have here song start, intro, tempo, then tempo second, then solo, break, end, ending, and end. So I usually do every song I do markers, so it's easy to jump from place to place, and you know where we are at the time. And also I'm use color coding. For me, it's easier to see the channels what I'm using straight away when I'm using color coding, and for me drums are always red. And here we have first the input channels, the auxes, then I have the demo, then I have the drums, then I have the other ones. In this session we had 21 drum microphones, and I brought my template here. We came in the aux to the channels. Let's hear first the demo that the guys gave us. And like I said, it's only bass and guitar. What I did for that is I took an EQ. Let's listen to it without the EQ. With the EQ. So what I did is I boosted a little bit the low end and the high end so we can hear more the bass and a little bit the top end. So it's easier for the drummer to play against that. We also have the click track here. Let's keep that away from now. In the drum miking perspective, I had 3 mics in the bass drum, 2 mics in the snare. We had 4 toms, but in this song the drummer only used the rack tom first and floor tom first, or the first floor tom and first rack tom. They also built the drum setup the night before we started, and they put rototoms in there, but I think they never used those in any songs. But I came in the early morning and started to mic, and I mic'd the rototoms also. Then we had a right mic, hi-hat mic, 2 crash mics, 2 overhead mics, 1 mono overhead mic, and 4 ambience mics. And let's let's dive in. The first channel that we have is kick in or bass drum in. I like to name the channels so it's easy to read, and I usually use bass drum. PD in, PD mid, PD out, snare, tops, so on. And let's listen to the bass drum in mic, how it sounds now. Yes, so we had the bass drum in mic. It was Sennheiser E901 in the middle inside the bass drum floor. What I used when we went in, I wanted to EQ it when we went in, so I used Steven Slade plugins to go in because it's my way of thinking. So analog. I had a trimmer there. There's nothing done with the trimmer. Usually the trimmer is for phase reverse if needed, but I've used auto align plugin to do the phase reversing and the time aligning of the drum mics. So I don't think maybe I've used the reversing. Let's see. But first I had in the virtual mix track I have the trimmer. Second, I had the virtual channel in a Brit N, so to speak, Neve and Drive 9. Then New York preamp, that's also, I think, Neve. I had the saturation little under, well, it's 3 exactly, nothing else. Then I have a SSL EQ. The high frequency was Bell. I've boosted 14K about 9 dBs. 2.6 kilohertz minus 3 dBs, 475 minus 6.3 dBs. I've boosted to 240 around 2.64 dBs. I've low cut around 30 Hertz after that. Then I have an API EQ. I had a 10K plus 4 dBs, 400 minus 2 dBs, and that's it. And that was the input side EQing and saturation for the bass drum in. Let's listen one more time the mic, how it sounds after the things. And of course, because the aux is only in and out, it doesn't record anything, so we can't see any movement in the metering now because it's already recorded into the channel. Second, we have a bass drum mic middle. So I've named it PD mid. I usually use these three mics if I have the time and I really want to make a good recording of the drums. I use these three mics. Second mic is Shure Beta 52. That is the go-to mic when I do live mixing also. It's really good mic. It's done really properly and there's the EQ is really spot on for the bass drum. Let's hear how that sounds. And what did I do there? Let's see. Same kind of Steven Slate. And there I actually have phase reverse. So there was trimmer and phase reverse there 180. Then I have the virtual channel, same settings, Brit N, so to speak, Neve, Drive 9, New York as same as 3. Then I have the SSL EQ, I had 7.5K plus 4.8 dBs, 149K minus 3 dBs, Q in the middle, 476 Hz, minus 2 Q in the middle, low frequencies, 93.8, 1.9 dBs, and bell, and no low cut. And then API, 7K plus 12 dBs, so I wanted to have the click. Let's listen to it. Yeah. And then 200 Hz minus 2 dBs, 100 Hz plus 2 dBs. And that's the middle bass drum. Then the third bass drum was bass drum out. It was AKG 214, approximately 15-20 centimeters of the beater thingy. The well, I don't know what's the name in English. The head, yeah, the outer head with the hole in the for the other mic. That's for the low end of the bass drum. Let's listen to that. So it's basically low end. And what I've done there is Steven Slate, trimmer, and also phase reversed. Then I have virtual channel as the same, New York as the same. Then SSL type EQ, I have 7.5K minus 15 dBs, 294 minus 1 dB, 50 Hz plus 3 dBs with a bell, no low cut. Then I have a custom series equalizer doing low pass filtering, so all the high ends rolled off with this. And then the API, and I've done 800 Hz minus 2 dBs and 30 Hz plus 4 dBs. And 4 dBs. Let's listen to that. And listen to those together. So input, so the inside mic, middle mic, outside mic. So totally different sounding mics with the placement and the mic, but together they sound really good. Yes. Then next we have the snare drums. First we have a snare top. It sounds like this. Oh, let's take the reverb away. I think I used a crash card to take the hi-hat bleed away a little bit. To me it sounds really good. Let's see what I've done there. The mic was SM57 and we had the trimmer, no phase reverse, no gain, virtual channel as the same as before, New York the same as before. I think I've used this in all the channels that the saturation is the same basically. Then I have the SSL EQ. I had boosted 7.5K 2.5 dBs, 3.8K 4 dBs, Q in the middle, 504 dBs I've cut 3 dBs, Q in the middle, and low frequency with the bell 125 plus 289 dBs, no low cut. And then the Brit NEQ, Neve EQ, I've boosted the high end 3 dBs, 3.2K minus 1.5 dBs, 1.8K plus 1.4 or 1.5 dBs, and low nothing, no low cut, high cut, no drive, no nothing. And the last I had a de-stressor here. Input was 6.7, attack was 7, release 5, output 6. 2:1 ratio and distortion 3 on it, and the mix has been 75%, and it sounded like this. Yes. Then I had the low mics. Snare bottom mic was SM57. It sounds like this. Little bit leakage of the bass drum. Let's see what I've done there. We have the trimmer, phase reversed, same virtual channels, and then SSL EQ, and I've done only 7.5K plus 3 dBs, nothing else. Snares together sound like this. Then we have the 4 microphone. Then we have the 4 toms here, and the microphones for the toms were Shure Beta 56 on rack toms, Sennheiser 421s on floor toms. At this song, I only found it that the drummer has used only the first rack tom and the first floor tom. Let's take a closer look here. And let's put the toms on. They sound like this. And the rack tom sounds like this. Let's see what I've used there. So here we go. Here we have a trimmer, no phase reverse, same virtual channel, same New York, and the SSL EQ. I have boosted 10K for 3 dBs in bell. I've taken down 707 Hz minus 6 dBs, Q in full or the widest, 50 Hz, 60 Hz plus 6 dBs in a bell and no low cut. And I think I've used the same settings for all the toms, and yeah, same setting as all the toms. First track tom was this, and the second or the first floor tom was this. Yes, really cool sounding. Then we have the rototoms here. Like I said before, I don't think they used it, the rototoms, but they were there, and when I started to mic the things, I put a mic there. The mic was SM58, sure, and let's see what I've done there. I phase reversed it, same saturation, and I've put the low cut on 400 Hertz. Let's see what's the sound. Well, he didn't play the rototom, so we don't have any rototom sound actually there. It's basically hi-hat and crashes and whatnot. I don't remember, did I really use the mic in the mix? But it's there and it's mic'd. Then next we had right and a hi-hat. I tried to find the right, the place in this song that where is the drummer playing the right cymbal, but I couldn't find any place here. So it's only hi-hat and crashes. So I can't really show you the right sound, but let's see what I've still used there in the other songs. So the mic was SM57. Actually, I always mix in the audience perspective, so I have the right cymbal in the left side and the hi-hat always on the right side. So here you can see bus 12 is in the right and 11 is the hi-hat, so I've flipped them. In the picture, the order is now looking like it should for me, even though I have recorded in the different order. But in here, it's SM57. Looking wise, it's trimmer, phase reversed, same virtual channel and New York, and only low cut and 400 Hertz. Nothing crazy there. Then hi-hat. It sounds like hi-hat. Let's see what I've done there. Trimmer 180, normal saturation thing, and the low cut to 400 Hertz. Nothing crazy. After that we have crash cymbals. The microphones for the crashes were AKG and C62 ULS. It's not the amplifier part, only the mic part is C60. I don't know the name or the numbering of the amplifier part, but the actual mic is C62, and I've done, let's hear what I've done here. Crash, let's see both at the same time. They sound like that. What I've done there is exactly the same thing on both mics. So we have trimmer, phase reversed, virtual channels, nothing changed, New York, nothing changed. Then custom series equalizer, I have 15K boosted 3 dBs, 400 Hertz, taken down 6 dBs, 100 Hertz, boosted 1 dB, and the low cut in 400 Hertz. And both are the same. Then we have overheads. Overheads I've used Subs MK4 mics. I love those mics. If I had only one mic to use, I would use that mic. That's the best sounding mic for everything. It doesn't color, it doesn't do weird things, it's just good mics. Holler at Matti. Matti is the guy who sold the mics for me. Let's hear the overheads. To me, overheads is always the picture of the drum set. I don't think the drums are one thing, drum, snare, bass drum. Always it's one instrument. And with overheads, I like to take a picture, so to speak, from the set. And I've tried everything. I've tried the white and weird things. But to me, overheads nowadays in studio and in live is it called XY? So the mics are close together in the 90-degree position. I try to put them over the snare drum, but it's not the case always. And the orientation is not like left to right straight, so to speak. If we have the drum set here, I have the kick drum here, right mic, right cymbal, snare here. Our mic, it's so to speak, that mics are like this. So this is the left and this is the right. So we are orientated like the toms, not like this, but this. To me, it sounds. I get more toms out of the overheads, and I've used that now many years, and I've grown to love the miking thing over there. Let's see what I've done. I used the subs there, and I think I've used the same things in the both mics. Yes, I've used the same thing in the both mics. I phase reversed the mics. The same virtual channel, same New York, and then custom series EQ. I boosted the 15K 3 dBs, take down 400 Hz 6 dBs, boosted the 100 Hz 1 dB, and no low cut and high cut. Basically the same as the Crash, but where is it? Here, but Crash had a high pass filter in it, so cutting the lows. And then we have a mono overhead. The mic was AKG 214 and it sounded like this. It was placed behind the drummer, a little bit higher than the overheads, to take a mono picture of the drum set. So if we compare to the overheads, it sounded like this. Overheads and the mono overhead. I think little bit more bottom end and little bit different vibe. Let's see what I've done there. Oh, there's lots of here. So I have was it 17? Yes, 17. And this is 17. Yes, we are in the red channel. I have the trimmer, no phase reverse. Virtual channel, same thing, New York, same as the other ones. Then I have an API EQ 10K minus 6 dBs, 3Ks plus 9 dBs, 800 Hz minus 4 dBs, 100 Hz plus 2 dBs. Then I have a stressor compressor, 7.6 dBs in, 7 attack, 5 release, 6.1 dBs out, 2:1 ratio, distortion 3 and mix as full. After the compressor, I have Neve EQ 3.2K plus 3 dBs, and that's it basically. So a little bit high mids there, and it sounded. I still sounded a little bit more bottom end that the overhead, but. And we can hear the compressor doing a little bit more the room key, I would say. Okay, then 4 more channels of drums. Oh, lots of drum miking. We have the ambience mics. And I think first I have a near ambience mic, and near ambient mics I've used Neumann U89s. I usually, if I remember correctly, I use them lower to the ground so I get faster bounce from the wall, from the floor to the mic. A little bit less of the cymbal bleed, and I use those mic as a omnidirectional mic, so it takes the low end better. They are usually about 3 to 4 meters from the snare mic, and then 3 to 4 meters to mic, and then back to, so triangle type of measurement in that. What I've done there is, I think I've used, yes, same of, both are same. Trimmer, phase reverse, virtual channel, same thing, and then the custom series equalizer. I've taken 12K minus 3 dBs, 600 Hz minus 6 dBs, then low pass filter to 10K, high pass filter was off. Or was it? No, it wasn't. It was 60 Hz. And they sound like this. So this is the near ones. And here we can hear the bass drum to be front. So about 30 centimeters, 40 centimeters from the floor, omnidirectional, and triangle measurement from the snare drum or bass drum, the center of the drum kit. And then I think this is shown in the second picture of the session, because I only had two pictures of the session. The second was behind the far ambience mics, and what that I did there was 2 AKC C62s in XY, and in front of that was a absorption screen, you would say. So I wanted to have the room, but not the straight signal. And they, let's see what I've done there. The same both, yes. Phase reverse, yes. Virtual channel is the same. Then the custom series, 12Ks minus 3, 600 Hz minus 6. Actually, this is the same as the near mics also. And they sounded like this. So the difference with the Difference with between the close ambient mics and the far ambient mic, we have a different kind of coloration and room size. So this is the new ones and the far ones. And here we have the drum session look through. Let's hear how the drums sound together. Let's put a little reverb on to the snare. Yeah, those are the drums. Let's put also the bass guitar and the guitar demo in the background. Yes, and basically that was the drumming session that I did with the band. And after that, I gave, when we have recorded all the drums, I gave the drums channels to the boys. They went their way and recorded bass guitar, guitars, keyboards, vocals, etc. somewhere. I don't know. I think they made them by themselves, but I don't really know. They haven't said that they used any other guy, so I would think they did them by themselves. They sound really good to me. But yeah, this was my session about the drum side of things. And now we can jump to the drum editing part. So we go to the filing. We see Offknives, 6th Bathe, 2nd, and drum editing. So I recorded the session. Now I named the save as, named the session again, and started the editing. To me, drum editing is cleaning the parts that I don't need. I use Beat Detective to correct the timing a little bit, and also it means little bit gain staging and EQing. Nowadays it's also EQing, cutting EQ, a little bit coloration, and then bringing it to line level. In here I haven't used the line level thing. Nowadays I do it all the time, so I bring everything after I bring to same level, so line level, like it's supposed to be. But here, now I open the session with the drums, and we have now doubled the amount of drums here because we have the committed drums and then I have the edited drums. Let's go see the edit window in here. So here we have the Beat Detective side of the drums. So we have, I'm not gonna tell you what is the Beat Detective. You need to find it out. There's millions of videos about the Beat Detective side of things, so I don't wanna start to tell you how it works. But it's timing tool for the drums. You can use it the other way also, but mainly for drums. So here you can see the drums corrected with the Beat Detective, and they should sound like the same as before. A little bit louder though. I think I have something in the... No, I have nothing in the master. I have something, some Slate plugin thing on the master here, but let's keep it on bypass now because I want to show first what I do with the channels. Okay, so we had the 3 bass drums, 2 snares, 4 toms, so on and so on. What I've done, let's start from the bass drum in mic again. So it sounded like this, just like before. What I've started with is a trim plucking. I've lowered the volume that it hits -18. And because I'm now bringing basically the audio from somebody else's recording machine to my mixing machine, I'm doing an analog saturation thing again. And I've noticed that when I use my mixing port, I need to lower the volume to -18. So basically the drum near mics is hitting -18 peaks, so not RMS peaks. And the ride, hi-hat, grass, overhead, stuff like that, it's hitting approximately -24 peak, not RMS peak. So I'm lowering with the trim plucking, the volume to the -18 and -24. And it lowers the volume. Then I have the Steven Slate mix rack again, and I have my mixing board here, what I've done. So basically I've put everything on there and kick it. I have a virtual channel. I have it in Brit 4K E, so SSL type console E, drive as 6, no noise. Then I have the New York, it's hitting saturation 3 on preamp, normal. Then I have London virtual saturation, it's hitting console, 3 dBs of saturation, nothing else. And then the Hollywood, also console and 3 dBs. So New York is hitting preamp, other ones are hitting console. Then I have the Revival EQ, or well, I think it's EQ. I have a shimmer in 3 dBs and thickness in 3 dBs. And this is what I put on every channel, on every instrument, every time. And then I'm lowering the overall volume about 3 dBs, so it's not, the volume is the same. This is what I do when I bring stuff for me to mix every time. I do this in every channels. Then I have a virtual tape machine. Let's see what it's hitting. It's just going through it and it's hitting like -10 dBs. Nothing much. 16 channel 2-inch tape machine, FG9 15 IPS and normal bias, and that's always the same in every channel. Then I have a kilohertz plugging transient taper that comes with Steven Slate's plugin, and I've used that as a attack and sustain type of thing, and usually I use that in the near mics, and also I think I've used it in the later stages. I've used that drastically more in some cases. Let's see, I don't remember now if I've used it, but sometimes I used it. And the kilohertz plugin is really good. It's really like it's biting inside of things. And I'll put this on and then I switch the plugins on so we can hear the difference. Virtual mix rack. Off, on. To me, I hear a little bit of bottom end, mainly for the reason of the thickness, but still it gives me something more. Then the virtual tape machine. To me it gives a little bit more body to it. And then the transient taper. It brings it a little bit forwards. And why I have EQ'd in this point the drums, because I've recorded those, I know how they sound. I've been thinking I don't need to EQ those afterwards this, so that's why I have only the my analog circuit, so to speak, in this. These Steven Slates are not changing throughout the time. They are the same. What is changing is the trim plugging and maybe the transient shaper. I don't think this is even changing here. Yeah, it's the same in all. Let's hear the middle bass drum. Trimmer. Here I can see the middle poking through really good. Yes. Tape machine and the transient shaper. The leakage is a little bit less and it's more pokier. Then the lower, the outside bass drum mic. It's poking through more. Now the tape machine gives a little more bottom end. And it's just kicking with the transient shaper. Now let's hear all the bass drum without everything and with everything. We are losing volume, of course. That feels like we are losing bottom end, but it's not the case. The volume is lowering because I'm lowering it in the trimmer. But what I'm noticing is it's pokier. It's in the middle frequencies are more pokey. The low end feels like we are losing it because the volume is lower after I engage the plugins. Then the snare drum. Without the, let's put the trimmer on. Without the analog circuit and without. Okay, let's hear the bottom snare mic, and afterwards I don't think we need to go forwards and look every plugin because they are the same and we have already listened all of the drums. Only one thing I want to show you what I do, but let's listen to bottom mic. So with the trim, nothing drastic, little things. At the same art, the rest is the same, and we can listen to it now. Without the plugins, to me, they come a little bit forward. They got a little bit more body because the saturation. This is like my thinking of goes back to the early days when we have the tape machines. Somebody recorded with analog console to tape machine, and then it sent to somebody to mix. He put the tape machine on and mix it with the analog mixing board. So that's why I'm doing this. I'm basically replicating that. Afterwards, I don't do any saturation, this type of saturation, because I'm inside now in the analog console. coming out of the tape machine. Part of what I do in the drums is one more thing is to align the drums. So I've made the time things with the beat detective, and then I'm taking all of these drums and getting them to auto align plugging. It's auto align 2. Before this I had auto align 1. It's more time consuming plugin to use. This is easy. You just open it. Actually, I'm not putting any ambience microphones in this at all. And then I press align, and it calculates the time difference between the microphones and the phase relations with the microphones. So basically it takes, usually it's a snare drum that it takes as a 0 point of reference, and it takes the mics and theoretically moves them at the same point where the snare mic is. They are not moving anywhere, only the tracks are, but in time, in theory, they are moving at the same position and the snare mic. So then there's no time difference and no phase difference in anymore because we have 21s, or let's take the amp microphones off. We have 18, 19 microphones. So we can have more punchy microphone, more punchy drums because they are aligned. Now we can see it has time aligned. Okay, now the reference is bass drum in, and then it samples minus something. And I've done it this. In the next step we can see that we can't see anything anymore, but we can basically hear it. I've done this already, but this is the time that it made now. So this is what I do at this edit point for the drums. So gaining analog circuit, tape machine, nowadays an EQ, and then I bring it to line level. I do the auto aligning, so they are timelined so much as I can. Before the auto aligned, sometimes I take it by hand and move the mics so the faces are good and they are a little more time aligned. But this is way quicker to do nowadays, and it's also ARA plugging. But then we do none and commit, but we of course are not going to do it. We revert to back because I've already done this. But yeah, the editing point is here. Afterwards, when I commit, I take the tracks and I press commit, so it calculates everything that is on the track and makes it a full consolidated track without the plugins, and the plugins are inside. So that's how I clean up the table, so to speak. So I have a clean table for mixing. If I'm doing mixing for somebody else, I'm not doing this because, well, the mixing engineer and the producer should have done this beforehand. They are paying me only to mix. So editing is, if I do editing like editing and time aligning, it takes time. But that I won't do if they don't ask me. Or if I notice something, then I tell the customer that, hey, this needs editing. Do you want me to do it? And so forth. But the analog circuit thing and the EQing thing, that I'll do. And I might check the endings and whatnot, just to clean up a little bit, but nothing else. Now we have done my editing. So time aligning, analog circuit, auto aligned. And at this point I would go here, take all, commit, select the tracks, consolidate clips, group assignment, elastic audio algorithms, hide and make inactive and offline. And when I press yes, or OK. It will calculate everything inside, and then we will be at this situation that these channels will hide away, look inactive, and we have the channels that we have done. And so now when I press this, these are the channels that we have EQ'd timelined. We could actually listen what's the change with the time aligning. Make them active again. Let's switch between. This is nice because I don't usually like compare these things. I just do things. Before and after timeline. To me, I can hear it. It's more tightened. It's a little bit more packed. It's like one drum set. To me. I hope you listen or you can hear it too. Now I press hide and make inactive. Now we have the rest of the channels, so we have to edit the drums. Then we have the demo guitars and bass. And also for my ears, I've done this master EQ thing. So I've done a little bit air and compressing. So this is my drum editing part of the session. Now we jump to the next thing. We go importing. So the point where I gave after the recording, I gave the channels, the drum channels to boys. They went to record the basses, guitars, vocals, etc. somewhere, and now they have sent them those to me. Actually, what I've noticed when I opened this session is one thing that I did with the editing. After the timelining and committing, I've cleaned up the toms. So if we open this up, you can see I've grayed out the toms. So what I usually do, I don't use gates in this kind of situations. I clear out all the stuff that we don't need, and I just keep the toms open in the places where you hit them. So here we have a tom here. I can play it. So we can come here. It's only tom. In the mix, it sounds like this. So it's clean cut and a little bit fade. Let's listen to this. So this is one thing I've done in the editing. I didn't remember it, but now we can see it. I cut and cleaned the toms, so they don't leak at the background. Okay, now we have the drums here. What we just did the things. They sound the same. Exactly. Now I got the stuff from the boys. Let's see what they have sent me. So first there's some kind of drum machine. Whoa, lots of bass. Cool sounding thing. Then bass amp. Bass DI. Then guitar left. You need to remember, I don't remember the naming of the channels. Let's see if I can see. No, I can't see them here, but I think I've labeled this myself. So it's guitar L1, L2, right 1, right 2, lead 2, lead 2, lead solo. So I've made the name shorter. I don't remember what are the names, but I've made the name shorter so it's easier for us to read in here. I think, I don't remember how they came, but I usually do that. So then the guitar first left was then lead guitar, or actually lead 2, then lead 1, solo. Then there's synthesizers, synthesizer 1, 2, 3, synth drone, synth PA, pad 1, pad 2. There's a lot of synthesizers here. I remembered less. All right. And rise. And then there's vocals. So these are the channels that they sent to me. So I have the drums and the channels here, and they sound together like this. Like you see, I haven't done any volume changes like that. This is only for me, the session that I bring everything in and line them up. Only thing. Then I save the session again, number 4, import editing. There I do the stuff, because if I need to go back, if I do some kind of mistake in the edit part, I can go back. The session where I bring all the stuff in, it's easier for me. I don't need to try to find some backups or something like that. That's why I do this. But this is now with the drums and the guitars and okay. That's only thing I've done. There's nothing in here, no EQ, nothing. Only the Steven Slate. Let's listen. I've done the high-end stuff and a little bit compressing. Let's move the import editing. Here we open this. I hope everything is good there back in home. All right. Now we have a session here. I have the bass amp, DI, guitars. Like we see here, let's see in the left we have the drums. They are now off. I have the edit part here for the guitar, synth, etc. Then the drums and the committed things. So like before, let's see, like before, I have gain, virtual mix rack, tape machine. Now here I have EQ. This is what I do nowadays, exactly. And then the drums, what we have done already, and then the committed channels. And there's a little bit of volume changes. But let's listen to this. It sounded like this as before. Yes, exactly. Let's go take that part. Now we have marker 9 to 10. No, let's take something else. Let's take this. And first we have a bass amp. I have trim. I've lowered the volume to -24, like I said. Then I have the mix rack, channel, virtual channel, preamps, trimmer, revival and trimmer, -3 dB. So exactly the same as the drums we had. To me, I hear a little bit of bottom end and I think it's the revival thing. Then I have the tape machine, exactly the same. 15 IPS FG9 2-inch 16 track, normal bias. Same thing, I get a little bit more like bottom end or something. Then I have a transient designer, a transient disaber. So I have a little bit of attack and I sustain. So when I increase the sustain, it longers the ending a little bit, so we have a little more play. Then I have EQ. So what I've done here is basically cut low end of 200 Hz and then high end to 3 kHz. And to -17.8 dB of 2 kHz in a 10Q. Let's see, I'll raise the Q, I'll reverse it so we can listen what I've done. Well, I think this is played with this, I don't know, I don't remember, the plectrites in Finland. So I think this is what comes when you play the little sound. I've took that away. Then I have this is called the subtracting EQ. Then I have a Pultec EQ. I've done little bit attenuation in the lower part and little boost and attenuation at the high part in the 3K and broad bandwidth. And if you know how the Pultec works, the attenuation is, oh my god, it's the best thing ever. Let's listen what this. So little thing, nothing major changes, little things makes the big thing in the end. And I think I hear a little bit the high end coming through. Yes, and then a trimmer in the end, and I boosted the volume 12 games, 12 dBs. Without all the plugins. Basically clean out the low end, that's what I hear. Then the bass DI. Same thing, trim, -24, virtual mic rack and tape machine, nothing major. EQ wise, I've taken 8Ks off, nothing else. Pultec. And the trim. Attenuation in the high end, 3K, and a little bit low end in the 60 cycles. Together. Yeah, punching through. Cool beats. And I've changed the phase here at the DI channel. Yes. Next, the guitar parts. I have a guitar left and right. I have the trim, so I think I've lowered the volume. Yeah, for 24. Then I have the same exactly input. Not a major effect. Virtual tape machine. Sorry. And then EQ. Usually what I do, I have an analyzer to the channel. And I have the analyzer open. Now we can listen to it. And what I've done here with EQ wise, let's see. I've boosted 2K 3 dBs, boosted 1000K, 1000 Hertz, 1K, 1.5 dBs in 1 and 105Q. And if I look the analyzer, I've raised then the high end of the guitar a little bit. So my goal is to be flat. Let's put the pull tech in. We have boosted 100 Hertz, attenuated in 2, I don't know the values. Boosted 3K and attenuated 10K. And it looks like this and sounds like this. Yeah, we have more bottom. Usually I'll do it flat, but it looked like I've done a little lean to the bottom end. I would think that these are exactly the same. Yeah. Exactly the same, and they sound like this. Also, I would think that the rest ones are exactly the same. Actually, no. Actually, no. I've done a little bit different here. So we have a little less 2K and yeah, 2 dBs less 2K. And then the pull tech is the same. And together they are, I might have think that because we have basically 2 guitarists, little bit different sound for them to punch through. I think it's still the same guitar, same amplifier or whatever they come through, but a little different is a difference. Then we have the, what is this? Lead. Let's find a lead here. We have the trimmer. -24 and the channel. And then EQ. I have done a low cut for 100. High cut for 16,000, little nip on the 358 Hertz, -2 dBs. Pull tech is doing boosting 100 Hertz, attenuating 2. Well, I think this is the same thing. Yeah, this is the same as the rest. I think it's a little bit cleaner. Actually, we have a trim here, so we have done boosting here. Yes, so here I have done the boosting to line level. My metering in Pro Tools is always RMS, venue RMS, because I always use RMS in live sound also. So I've done the line level type of thing, not full on, but near. Here the bass is a little bit. Yes, here we don't have these. let's put these on. So I think this is the same. Yes, this is the same all through, so it sounded like this. No, like this. Yes. Then we have the solo attenuation. Let's find the solo here. It's here. -24 analog circuit. Then EQ wise, I've dipped 2K, 2 dBs and 100 Hz and 16 and 712 Hz -5 dBs in almost 10. Q value of 10. A little more charger. This is the same, the Pultec is the same. Yes. Then we have the lead 2. Let's see where we have the lead 2 here. -24. Actually, I can little hear the distortion come through there. EQ, same as the solo. Pultec is the same as the everything else, and then trims. Then we have the keyboards. Taking it down to 24, analog circuit, nothing changes there, and then trim back, nothing else. It's just going through the analog circuit. All of these. And there's nothing changes here, so it's only it's line level stuff, keyboards, so it's just going through the analog channel. Last we have the vocals here. What I've done here is the same thing as before. I've taken the, well, let's find the vocal here. Here. I made a deal with myself. Good level in. I've taken it down. I made a deal with myself. So RMS -15 and the peaks are -24. Analog thingies, 10 EQ, and I had the phase thing here, the fuzz frequency thing here. I made a deal with myself. Now we can see what happens. We have basically nothing on the 250, then it goes up, little dip in 4000, a dip in little going up 8K and then down. I don't know what mic they used or anything. Let's see what I've done with the EQ. So it was before. I made a deal with myself. After. I made a deal with myself. I've taken 250 Hz, bringing it up 3 dBs. 1000 Hz -2 dBs, very wide Q. 5K up 3 dBs, and then low cut in 150 and high cut on 16,000 Hz. And then Pultec. I made a deal with myself. Nothing much, little bit 3 dB boost on 5K, no attenuation or height, and little bit 1 dB of 100 Hz. Nothing much. Then volume.
I made a deal with myself,
It's looking a little bit flatter now in the end. The 8000 Hz, I think I've done something after this, but in this situation I haven't done it anymore. And the second vocal is the same. Yes, I think it's a different singer, right? Yeah, let's see, listen. It's more screams.
Declining!
Doubling, yeah. So I think I've done the same, yes, the same thing here and the same pull tech here. So just bringing it through the channels. So now we have the channels here. Let's listen to them without the plugins. And here I can see I have an auto align, the old version of auto align here. So I've done some auto aligning to the bass guitar. Without the plugins.
Declining, these endless always lead me nowhere.
The major difference is the volume, so guitars come forward because they are a little bit more louder, but not big changes to the overall sound. But after this I do the commit thing and let's hide them, put those away. So now we have drums and the imported stuff here. Actually, let's go to the edit window, see what I've done there before I lose those. I've not done nothing there. Looks like it. Yeah. They look like they've been cleaned beforehand, and it's a good thing. Yeah. I didn't need to go through them. And now we have the drums here. Then we have the drum machine, bass, guitars, starting to sound really good. And still we have a clean table here. We don't have anything there because we have done so much beforehand. Let's hear these keyboards coming in. There's time alignment issue here. Let's put those on something has happened there. All right, now they should be online. There's so much bottom end on that drum machine, I don't know. Then the vocals are here. Let's listen to it. Open that and this. And now we can see there's no insert in the master fader anymore. So it's basically clean everything. We have done the EQing, we have done the editing, we have done the aligning, we have done the fading and whatnot. So it's the level is RMS 0, so line level. We are good to go to the mixing part of things.
As I just say it all out, there is no sense of it all.
Okay, let's jump into the mixing part. Here we go. It's so warm in here and it's cold here.
Difference.
I need to have a fan that blows here. Now we can see we have the channels that we have done. Drums, basses, we have the auto lines, everything here. I just wanted to show you they're here and we can go and hide them to the background because we are using the ones that we have done. Hide. And now I have the session here that we have done like we saw. And at this point I have a template that is evolving all the time. I'm putting more stuff to it. But at one point I noticed that I'm doing the same stuff all over again, all the time. I'm doing the same groups, I'm doing the same reverbs. So I started to put them down and started to make a template for me that I don't need to do it every time. And now it's evolved with stuff that I bring in is first we have a bass drum trigger 1, bass drum trigger 2. So basically I have the clear mic, the near mic without reverb and stuff, and then I have the ambience mic or overhead mic. Then I have a bass group, bass drum group. Next I bring snare trigger 1 and snare trigger 2. The first snare trigger is the near mic and the second one is the ambience or overhead mics. Then I have a snare mic group. Then I bring tone reverb. I bring drum reverb 1, 2, 3, drum distortion, drum parallel compressor, and bass, drum group. Those are the drum things I bring to the from the template. Then I bring bass group, and I also bring pre-made bass channel where I have plugins that I use in the bass guitar. I can just copy them over and kill it. Same thing, guitar, I have a guitar no, this is what I've done. No, this is not in my template. This is a delay of some sort. Let's see what it's there. I have a guitar stereo aux that I bring to the table. I have a guitar slap 1 that has Telray delay slap in it. Then I have guitar reverb that has FK250 digital blade wide 1.5 1.17 seconds small guitar hole. That's what I bring always. It's the VSC Slate plugin, and the Telray plugin is of its own. Then I bring a flanger, so I have a flanger that I bring in, and I have put the lo-fi also here. That's not usually there, I wouldn't imagine. Then I have another slab, what is the repeater from Slates, and it's CLA-ish tape slab. I also bring guitar compressor, guitar, another EQ widening thing, and guitar bass. So every drum goes through a bass or compressor and bass. Sometimes I throw the compressor straight to the band bass or through a drum bass and into the band bass. It changes time to time. Then I have bass bass, guitar bass, keyboards. I have a keyboard stereo, EQ thingy, keyboard reverb, keyboard widening, and keyboard bass. and then I have a vocal. I usually have other bus. It's named really other bus. And the other bus has the other things inside besides drums, bass, guitars, keyboards and vocals. So saxophones, blows, strings, whatever. I try to keep it like analog type thing. So if I go do live sound, I have those. I try to have those. It depends of the mixer, but I try to have those buses. So it's drum bass, bass bass, guitar bass, keyboard bass, other bass, vocal bass. So 6 groups of basses. Then I have vocals going to vocal bass. I have vocal reverb 1, vocal reverb 2, vocal slap, vocal eighth, vocal normal delay, vocal Doppler, vocal distortion. And guys noticed that we had 2 channels of vocals here, and now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 channels of vocals. So I've done a little bit things to the vocals. The reverb one is VSC FKG 480 Hall large plus stage. The other one is Verb Suit Classical, so to speak, VSC Vocal Heaven. Slap is a CL tape slap that I've modified it. The 8th note is CLA 8th note delay, what I've modified it. Then I have a delay throw, which I use H delay, it's really good. And Doppler to widening things. And then I have a distortion that I have a wave sibilance plugin, Sansamps that I use also in drums, and EQ. Then I have a vocal bass, I have band bass and all bass. That means that if I mix somebody else's track and they give me raw mix, I don't want anything to be in the master fader, because then I can throw the raw mix they give me to the side and I can go through my mix and then their mix through the master without affecting that. That's why I have vocal bass and band bass going to all bass and then to master fade. Now I have all the plugins turned off because I wanted you to see what I've done here. So if I now put this on, it should sound like the one that we just listened to the import edit, yeah. And it sounds like that. I really like this song, it's so cool song. It's really dry at your face. And if we take a look, I usually need to make, they come as a bunch when I bring the template in, so I need to put them into the place. So usually I have drums in drums, last is the bass. Bass are in the order after drums, and the bass, bass is the last one. Guitars and the bass, guitar, bass, so on. I do also the output side before I start to do anything, and I copy all the send. So basically I'm ready to go, ready to rock and roll straight on that. At the last I have the vocal bass, band bass and all bass at the end. Well, I've modified these now, but I have a pre-set up for the plugins when I bring them in tweak to some point. And of course now when it's full mix, when I'm opening it there, I've been tweaked them, so I don't really know what I've tweaked them. But at the all bass and band bass, I don't really tweak so much because they usually sound good like that. But let's try to open it backwards. So I have the all bass here. First I have the virtual mix track here. I have a trimmer. I've lowered the dB 3 dB down, and then I have the virtual mix rack mix bus here, virtual mix bus here. And let's play. So it's lowering the level a little bit. Then I have an air EQ. I'm boosting low end earth 2 dBs, air 2 dBs, and then I have a I haven't touched this. I have a 2 dBs of 2K in the widest Q that I have, and it makes this. It clears it up. Then I have a virtual mix tape here. It gives a little bit more volume. I don't know why, but it sounds good. Then I have a linear phase multiband here. This I know I have tweaked, but it makes this, at this point it sounds like this. I've raised the middle high mid from 799 to 4750 dB and low end a little bit and threshold a little bit down. And this is adaptive multi-electronic mastering setup that I've started to tweak, so it's quick. Then after that I have the same multi-band compressor, but it's multi-opto mastering, so it's doing slower stuff. And here I have at least doing something in low mids, and with this too. Yes, sounds good. Volume is going up also because I've raised the volume, the gain here. And then I have the, this is actually a free plugin, initial clipper. You have a saturation, positive and negative, input gain and threshold. Just to be safe and safe side at the output side. So this is the clipper plugin in the end. And it's raising up the volume quite a bit. So with all those plugins off, it sounds like this. Oh. Volume raises, sounds good. Then I have the band pass here. I have a trimmer here. That usually is not in there, but I've put it there to lower the volume of all -7 dB. So it just lowers the volume. It affects, of course, in this side also, but then I have a widening plugin. It widens the stereo field S1 Imaginer on waves. Doesn't do much, but it still does. Then I have a Steven Slade compressor, CLA Rock. I don't remember if it's just the stock. I would think because there's the plus or the star here, it might tweak. Let's put it on. Now it's doing under -1 dB. I don't know when we are starting to put the plugins in the channels what happens, but after the compressor is Pultec, I've boosted lots of 60 Hz and a little bit of 3K. And this is usually what's in always, and I don't touch this. Gives so much nice low end to the overall things. And then I have a mix rack. Yeah, the virtual mix, same as here, because we are coming out of group or bus, so we are coming out of the inside another bus basically. Little bit lowering the volume, nothing drastic there. Then I have an EQ that doesn't usually be here, but I've done some tweaking. looks like I've brought middle things up here and a little bit taken down to 4K. I think this is after middle part of the mixing session with all the plugins in a line, and I've raised stuff up. And last I have a violet EQ in the end of the band pass. Basically giving a little bit low and a little bit high end. So that's the buses that I go through with the band without vocals. Let's jump here now to the drums. And let's put the drum bass on first. So I have a settings that I have a pull deck and I have the virtual mix rack, and I have these except the FG38A there. I have those in. I have some tweaks made there, but not drastic. Usually I have a lots of low end in the mix. I have now pull deck. I have lots of low end, but I've trimmed it down 6 dBs because it's raising the volume. Let's see when I put this on first. It sounds like this. Pull deck. Wow. Without. Let's lower the volume a little bit. Then the virtual mix rack. Well, the mix rack is, there's a lot happening there. First we have a transient designer. We have boosted, I have boosted transient 1.5 dB and sustain 1.5 dB. Then I have an API EQ. I have boosted 4 dBs of 10K, 2 dBs of 3K, and that's it. Then I have a custom series lift. I have lifted high end and low end. Then I have the FG36A, which is really drastic high end boosting. I don't know what it is, EQ or what. Then I have the distressor, but it's doing a lot. Minus 10 dBs, but the mix is lower. It's like 5%, so it's not doing much in the mix, but it's there. These distressor settings are 3 to in, attack 5, release 1, so fairly slow attack, really quick release, 8 out, nuke setting, and low pass filter in gates, and then virtual mix track. Here you can see it's clipping here, but it's clipping yellow. That means that Pro Tools has a internal 32-bit floating point inside it. Even though you are using 24 bits like I'm using, it doesn't distort when you're inside the Pro Tools. Only when you go outside the Pro Tools. Then you need to be taking care of that. But I'm not really worried when it's yellow. That's why it's yellow. It's basically clipping, but they have headroom there, so it's not really clipping. Okay. Now we can start to jump into the bass group. So we have bass drums here, all 3. And it goes to the group, then it goes to the drum group, then it goes to the band group. And after that, all group. What I've done here, I have an EQ. I've done so much that 8K plus 2 dBs in a Q of 3. So I think I just wanted to do that. I have also the virtual mix rack that I have a distressor, FG36A, custom lift, and mix bus, and it's doing this. So I'm leveling just the bass drum a little bit. It's 6.4 in, it's distorting in input. Attack is lowest, release is fastest, output is 2. 61 and mix is 50. I think the FG36A is doing the heavy lifting on the high end. Yes. And now we can hear lots of bleed from the cymbals. So I'm using silencer plugging, so it's a gate, really nice made gate. I'm using that to get rid of the leakage. Oh my god, it's so clear. And then I have an EQ here in the first bass drum, the inside bass drum, and it's doing, what I'm doing. Cutting down 200 Hz, bringing up 13.36 kilohertz, bringing down 600 Hz. Let's hear it by itself. Yeah, we're only doing basically the click there. Then I have a trigger here. I've just copied the, I think the inside mic and put it in the channel. And I have the trigger, and that comes with the template. I have always the, let's see, what are the names? AC kick, Jet3 and Jet1, and black kick Jet1 in gates. That's always in the template. And I have some pre-made, I have a gate there that it's 5 milliseconds, release 5 milliseconds, because I have the mix on full, so I don't need to leakage there. I've tuned it a little bit high, sensitivities are here, and it's minus 15 dBs. And I've not put any other trigger sounds here that it's on my template, and I boosted the black kick to get, I think, a little more click out of it. And let's listen to it first with the gigs that we had, and then the trigger. So we can hear it brings more ringing to the, or sound, the sustain to the sound, and it's still quite short, but still it brings a lot to the mix. And then I have put the black kick, so it doesn't, it's like always the same level. Then I have the other kick, it's the same kicks but with the ambient microphone of that side, and I have just used the black kick SSDR, and together all the kicks sound like this. Yes, that's it. Let's jump to snares. First snare is the one that we have. And like I said in the one point that I'm drastically using the transient shaper usually, and here I've done it. I've copied the snare top mic, and I've named it snare top attack and sustain. Okay, so first I've done, let's see the snare bus. I have a virtual mix track here, and I have a mix bus, then I have an EQ and compressor. Now it's doing this. So we have 200 Hz boosted, cut for 800 Hz, 2K boosted, and just a little bit compressor. I think the compressor is doing more when we go further. Sustain is like an attack. What I'm doing, I'm bringing the attack of the snare forwards and cutting all the rest. Let's hear, this is the same thing without. Then I first have EQ here, and it's drastic. I've boosted 180 Hz, 9 dBs, cut 600 Hz, 5 dBs, and boosted 2.7K, 5 dBs, and it sounds like this. So I have the, to me what sounds this snare's main points, so to speak. Without it, it's this. And also I have cut the high end and the low end off. Then I have this transient shaper, and there you can see we have attack 46%, sustain 71%, speed is 164, and with that it sounds like this. It brings every piece of the attack really forward. Also it's bringing up the bass drum a lot, but that's why we have the silencer there. Let's engage the silencer. Now we have only the attack of the snare drum. Then let's jump to the sustain part of the snare. Remember, it's the same mic, same snare. We have just copied that and making different things to it. Not triggering, not doing anything, it's the same thing. Just basically using the transient designer to save it. Again, we have the same mic. EQ. Oh. It's the same thing that we have the attack part, but the transient shaper is attack -70, sustain +100, and it sounds like this. We are just taking the sustain, the ringing of the snare drum, and bring it forward. So without the EQ, it's like this. With the EQ, because we have brought up the frequencies, it brings those ringings forward. And there always there's the leakage. Let's use silencer for that. Now we have only the sustain there. Then we have the basic snare with the silencer. That's it. So now we have the same mic, but doing different things. Attack, sustain, and normal. Let's hear them together. Without, it's quite lame now. Let's put the attack on. We have more, and then sustain, ringing, without the leakage, or a little bit leakage, but still. Then there we have the bottom mic. It sounded like this. We have the silencer. I love the silencer. It's really good. It cleans up so nicely, and there's nothing much to do. You just put it there and threshold it, and that's it. EQ. I've boosted the high end, cut the low from 100 and from 8K, and with all the two mics with two drastically made changes, it sounds like this. I like it. And now we have the compressor is doing more in the, yeah, it's doing -10 dBs in the bass. Yes. Now we have the trigger, and here I have the same AC snares as the bass drum, black snare, same kit, but I've put green snare here as well. Let's hear how this sounds. By itself, nothing much. Basically, it's the green snare and then the black snare. It's giving it also sustain. With the normal mics, let's take the sustain away. The sustain is giving it nice. What the what the actual snare has. I love it. I tried to bring it forward. Then I have the other trigger, the same exact things, but with the ambient side of the miking, so it sounds like this. It's the room. With the trigger near mics, we have the smack, sustain of the room, and then we have the original mics. Now we have the bottom end, the sustain. We have used the trigger to lengthen the snare, because if you take the triggers off, it's really in your face and like boring, but with this it's coming forward. With the bass drums, sounds quite nice. Then next we have the, let's jump over the toms for now. Let's go the hi-hat. Let's go overheads. Yeah, we have the overhead because to me it's the picture of the whole kit. We have the overheads here. I haven't done a lot of the overheads. I have taken the low end off, the high end off, because I think I have boosted it so much in the bass. I need to take it off from here. And then a little dip on the 400 minus 60 dBs, and with minus 60 dBs. Let's listen to overheads with the snares and bass drums. Yes. One point I need to make up: the bass drums and the snare drums go to their groups, but you can see there's a plus in front of the bass, bass bass and bass drum bass and snare bass. That means the output is going in two different places. It's going drum bass and drum compressor bass. So I'm putting it in the two different places. Also the toms is going there. But we are now at this point listening only the drum bass. Then I have the ambience mics. Near ambient mics sound like this. I have EQ'd it, taken off the low end and high end a little dip on 450 and 280. Then I have soothed it. Soothes clears out like it said drum room has. I don't know if I've done anything to it. I usually start with some kind of presets because somebody else has thought it through and I tweak that. Without the suits, well, it's not doing much, but it's doing something. Then I have the virtual mix rack. I've booted 10K, 5K, 0.8K and taken down 100 Hz and put a compressor there. So basically I have cleaned the high end and then I'm bringing it back and compressing it a lot. That's the near mics. Then the far ambient mic. I've done EQ. I've left the low end there. I've taken down more the high end and cleaned the low mid a little bit. Then I have the suit here. Taking the same things, and virtual mix rack, taking the same stuff that we have done the other. So without basically cleaning the setup. And now the ambience microphones sound like this. Let's put the overheads also. Everything comes a little bit forward. And then the bass drum and snares. Wow. Then we have the hi-hat, ride, and the grasses. Hi-hat sounds like this. I have EQ'd it. Basically, got the 500, got the 8000, dip in 500, dip in 3.5. Same thing in the right side. And same thing, almost actually not the same thing. Crash mic, I've taken 200 Hz and 8K and little dip on 420. And all the simple mics together. Now the overheads. Ambient mics. And the snare and bass. Nice. Even though we are listening these by themselves now, usually when I mix, I listen everything, because sometimes by themselves they don't sound good. But when you have the bass guitar and the guitars and whatnot, it starts to feel right. So bear that in mind when we are listening the straight channels now, that I'm not doing it when I'm mixing. I'm listening everything and I'm going back and forth with something, but basically I'm just listening what do I need to do, and I'm doing it. And actually I'm not doing really much here because I've done so much beforehand. I don't have million plugins here. But I needed to just bring that around, that it's not, I need to listen all of it. But for the sake of this thing, I need to bring everything forward to you, what I'm doing. Okay, let's move to the rototoms. To me, it seems like I'm using it, and it sounded like this before. It had a lot of leakage from the hi-hat and grasses. From EQ point of sight, I've got only 100 Hz and 8K. Suit is doing a lot. Cleaning up the high mids and highs. And then I have a FK38, no, it's on bypass. So I have only the compressor doing stuff here. So without sounds good. Then I had the mono overheads, same thing here. I've got the same amount. I think I have the same things here than the rototom, and yes, so it sounds like this before and with. The compressor really brings the snare and the room. With the rototoms, it sounds like this. And then we have the toms here. The toms, I think I've done exactly the same thing on all. Yes, I have a custom series equalizer, boosting 12K, 6 dBs, 4K, 2 dBs, 50K or 60K, 4 dBs, and that's in every toms. Let's listen without and with. Let's try to find a tom section here somewhere. Here. And with the EQs, cool beans. After that, we have a drum parallel compressor. It's in virtual mic rack, and there I have the monster of Steven Slate. This is modeled after 1176, the legendary compressor, all buttons in. I think they have put the punch button as an extra feature, but I don't know what the punch does. And like I said before, when I talked about the template, that I'm bringing stuff in, and I sometimes use the compressor to go through the drum bus to the band bus, or sometimes I put the compressor straight to the band bus and the drum bus at the different. Now it's going through the drum bus, so let's have a listen to that. Actually, we'll listen to the drums. And now engaging the compressor. What goes through the compressor is bass drum group, snare drum group, and toms. All the cymbals, room mics, that doesn't go in there. Only the near mics. And to me, it brings the attack more present. And then I have the distortion. I'm using Sans amp. And then I have a virtual mic rack with EQ, and I've boosted 220 Hertz or 3 dBs, cut at 1.6 dBs, 1.6K, 1.6 Hertz, 3 dBs, lowered the gain 6 dBs, and it goes through the virtual mix rack. And I'm gonna bring it more up so you can hear. And it sounds like this. Really nasty. But the point is, to me, to bring grit to the sound and longer it. Make it more, I don't know, that it sounds longer and bring some grit to the drums. Let's go back without. These are clean. Now I'm engaging the distortion. Off. On. To me, the snare is a little bit rounded and a little bit more longer. At this point, we have gone through all the drums, basically, all the drum buses. Now we are left with the reverbs. And reverb 1 that I usually bring, I have the space, Avid space reverb, and I have a SSL EQ after it. I'm bringing the high end up and the low end up. Then I have at my disposal, I have a distortion, Avid's air distortion, and the transient shaper. I don't use these in every mix I do, but they are in there if I need it to. Distortion, I can basically break the reverb a little bit, and with transient designer or shaper, I usually take the attack away a little bit and give it a sustain. But at this thing I have done, taking the attack away and taking also the sustain away, so making it a little bit shorter. Yes, that was the word. Let's listen to it. I'll put it in the mix first, and then I'm bringing it up a little bit. Off, I just put this on. Off and on. Now I'm bringing it up. Off. It's just making everything longer. More room. Then the other one, I have a warm drum space template here that comes with the VSC. I don't know if I've done anything to it. Then I have the VMR here. I've boosting the low end, low mids 240 Hz, taking the 321 down 9 dBs. Then I have the distortion and the same transient shaper there. Let's listen to it without the first. On. And what goes into the reverbs are sustain, triggers and toms basically are going in, nothing more. Here I have it also on amp mics. And then both without and within. They are not doing much, but they are doing a little bit. Then I have the third one here. There I have a true verb that it's 7 milliseconds. Medium plate is the starting point. Direct off. Then I have an EQ that brings the low end up, takes out the high end. Distortion. Then I have a gate that has a sidechain put in, and sidechain is from snare trigger because it's the cleanest one. And then I have the transient shaper boosting attack and boosting sustain. Let's listen to it. So it's really large reverb that is. I have some kind of automation going on there because it's not going on bypass. So it's really long. Let's see where does it stop in the chains in here. So we have automation here that it goes lower, and the gate is going on in. So we have 3 reverbs going to the drums, snare basically. Then I have the tom here. I have the tom has distortion before reverb. Then I have the true verb, same as here, but it's a longer decay with the direct sound. Then I have the EQ, boosting lows, low mids, taking mids and heights off. Then I have the gate. It's from bus to straight to the gate, so from the toms. And then I have a transient shaper bringing out the sustain, and let's listen to it here. So it's just making the toms a little bit longer. Just a little bit. So now we've gone through all the drums, except for panning. So let's quickly look at that. I have the bass drums are pointing center. Triggers are stereo, so it's left and right. Drum bass is stereo, it's left and right. Snares are pointing straight. Snare triggers are left and right, stereo. Snare bass is left and right. Then I have the toms. I have the first tom 50, second tom 30, first floor tom 30, and the last floor tom is 50. I usually start from 50 and 100 and 50 and 100, but in this case I have taken it down. Reverb is left right stereo. Then I have the hi-hat and ride, full left right. Crash cymbals, full left right. overheads full left right, all the ambience full left right, and the rototom and the mono overhead full on straight. And now we can listen to whole of the drum kit by itself with everything that we have engaged and this far. Even when we take the triggers off, it sounds so dull. Well, it's not, but it's more sustained and more attack. Yeah, I like this. It goes to the field of music that we are doing now. One thing in the drums, we have the drum machine at one point where it is. Let's find it. Here is the drum machine. It sounded like this when it came. It had lots of bass in it, really much. What I've done it here, I was surprised when I opened this session before this video editing. I didn't remember I did this. I remember it's in the song. I've listened to this song after when it's released because I like this. It's on my list, but it's what I've done with the loop. It's really cool. So I have a Murder Me plugin. It's from Slate. Oh no, sorry, Murder Melodies, and I've spread it wide. I've done some high pass filtering, and then I put some motion, some ice, and rhythm in there, and it sounds like this. Without, with. So basically I've got the whole low end off there, because if we have so much low end, the normal drums will sound really thin. So we don't want that. We only want the. So I've taken the low end off and make it wider and give it a little rhythm. And after that, I've put distortion in it, and lots of it. So it pops out of the mix. Without and with. I don't know if it's doing it, taking it mono, but I don't care. With the drums, it sounds like this. Now it's fitting inside with the drums. Not too much low end. I like it. Let's go to the bass guitar. First we had the bass amp here. Yes. With my template, I'll always bring this one guitar plugin in here. I don't remember the exact moment where I noticed this, but I was recording something and I wanted to bass have more high mids basically. And I started, it's DI, I could throw their amplifier modeling thing and let's try it. I threw this in, preset was 0, I did nothing to it and it sounded awesome. And after that, it has always been in my bass pass. It just does something good to the bass for my ears. And it's guitar plugin. Let's listen to DI and the two bass channels without anything, and I'll just engage the guitar amplifier. The volume might change, but still, now I'm putting it on. To me, it just brings everything live, even though it's now making more volume, but still. It does something to the high mids of the bass guitar. Then I have an EQ here. This is not in my template, but I've put it in. I've done some bottom end and taken some 1000 Hz off and cutting the high end to 4K. Little bit more rounded. Then in the template I have a virtual mix rack. I don't know, I don't remember if I have these things there, but I have a LA2A, API EQ, custom series and the virtual mix rack. And with those I'm just controlling the overall level of the bass guitar and bringing 1.5K 4 dBs, taking 200 Hz, oh, plus 2 dBs. Then I'm boosting, with the custom series, I'm boosting the low end. Without, not much, it's just controlling the level. After that, I always have the Slade's, well, I don't know what it is, FG Mu. It's basically Vari-Mu compressor that they have made, and it's usually in the last place of my bus, and it's sounding like this. It's a little bit controlling the overall level, nothing much, bringing some things up. In the amp I have a virtual mic rack, I have a trimmer, I'm dialing the level down 6 dBs, I have SSL EQ that I'm EQing 1.4K 3 dBs, wide Q, cutting down the low end 35 Hz. Then I have a this is a VCA compressor, but to me it's like the fast compressor. Then I have the tube compressor that it's, in this case, it's the slow compressor. So what the FG401 takes the fast things away, and then the tube compressor is doing the lower things. And in tube compressor I have the super smooth preset on. And then I have the API EQ, but it's not doing anything there. So let's listen to this without the DI, amp, and then the... Okay, this is again level thing I've done, so it's more packed. After that I have my go-to distortion of bass drum, bass guitar. Green JRC overdrive from Avid, and I've just boosted the overdrive. Let's see what it does. It's giving it the grid. And then DI box, I have DI box sound like this. And I have the VMR, I have taken it down. Is it exactly the same? No, it's not. I've taken it down 6 dBs. I'm boosting 3K 6 dBs with the wide Q. I'm boosting, yeah, this is my, I basically almost, it's in my template like this. I just tweak the level, but it's 30 Hz full on with a bell. Every time in the DI channel. That's how I get the low end of the bass. Then I have the fast compressor, slow compressor, and API, but API is not doing anything, so it's, I think it's on the template. Let's listen to this, what it sounds when you have the low end cranked on. We are getting the bass. Yeah, exactly. After that, I have also the Green JR overdrive, but it's not doing anything, it's just sitting there with the mix with 31. Yeah, it's doing something. Giving it a little bit high mids. Together, Yeah. And let's put the drums on now. Cool. After that we have guitars. We have the guitar group here, and let's put the 4 main guitars on a play without nothing. I remember in the edit we did boost the low end a little bit, but now to my ears, when the drums are so bright and the bass guitar is a little bit brighter, these sound dull. You can see also there's the plus, it's going to the compressor and to the guitar bus. And also the compressor is going through the guitar bus. But the EQ widening thing is going straight to the band bus. Let's engage the bus. So we have API 20,000 Hertz plus 12K. Though there it is. There is the high end that we are missing. 5K we have plus 2 dBs and nothing else. Mix rack. And also we have a little trim minus 3 dBs. Let's listen to this. Without and with. And there it is. The high end that we need. Then we go to the channels by itself. We have virtual mix rack here. Let's see if I have the same thing on everything. Yes. So we have mix rack, we have minus 9 dBs going in. We have API plus 6 dBs on 7K, so more high end. We have 5K plus 2 dBs, 100 Hz minus 2 dBs. Then I have a tube compressor. Normally, my template start is the tube compressor is not doing anything. It's just sitting there. If something, the needle will go between the 0 and the 1. I don't want it to do anything. I would hope it doesn't do anything in this situation, but let's see. Then after that, well, I'm EQing into the compressor. I'm EQing after it. I have a Neve, putting more high end, 2 dBs, 7.2K plus 5 dBs, so more high end. Well, it sounded dull, like we listened to it, but I think it's now more brighter. Let's listen without, and I'll put it on. Yeah, baby. There's the high end, and there's the. You hear it's louder. I think I've done some kind of automation for the volume that it's pushing it up. I might have a thing that there is a delay after that, so it's going louder so we can hear it in the mix. After that, this is I saw this. Whoa, this has changed. Different kind of layout now, but max bass. And I saw this one engineer using this as a live situation for the guitars. And I thought, well, maybe it's doing low mids also, so I can use that in there. And what it does, it brings the harmonics of the low end into the mix, and it sounds like this. So it's giving the little bit of the oomph back. If you saw, this aux is doing something in the part, and we have the delay here. Let's engage the delay. It's this kind of settings, full on, and hear what it says. There you go. There's the delay for that. Where was it? Here. So I've made an automation that it goes up and it has the long delay after it, only the whoop part. So automation is in the bus and also to the channel. Then we have the lead, solo, and the lead here, and I've made some tricks here. I've done, let's see, lead here, lead here, lead here. We have lead here. Let's take this part, and it sounds like this without anything. I've done, is it the same thing? No, a little bit less of, yeah, 7K plus 6 on Neve is the same, but the rest is I've gotten down and it sounds like this. Brighter, and also the tube compressor is doing between the one. Then I have the max bass, giving it a little bit more body. Then I have a auto pan tool here. It's the tool that takes automation left and right. You can link it to tempo and whatnot. Let's see what I've done with that. Yes, so I've made automation that the lead is going from side to side. I think just make things move and have excitement in it. But it seems to me that I've making actually we had two monos of these. I'm making it a stereo, so it's in one channel, and then I've made a copy of it. I think I have the same things here. Yes, exactly. Max bass is the same. Then I have the murder melody here. The same thing. I've done a spread here, but nothing else. Just spread it. Let's listen to it. Well, this. So this is now wide. And then I have a H delay after it. So it's giving a little bit splash back to it. And with the auto pan, it sounds like this. So basically, the one that is traveling from speaker to speaker is still on top, but that murder melody and delay is like filling up the spaces between that. Let's listen to with the other guitars. Bass guitar, drums. Now the drums start to, they appear shorter than they are by themselves, because we have started to get more frequencies and more movement to the other, so it's filling up, and then the drums come closer together. That's why we need to over drastically longen the drums, or I'll do that. Next we have solo. Again, in solo, I've done the same thing. I've done extra channel, but first I have a virtual mix rack here. It's almost the same as the other guitar, but a little bit different EQing here. And then max bass, and it sounds by itself, it sounds like this. Really dull. High end, yes. Then the other part I've done is VMR. Exactly the same settings. Let's see the compressor, by the way. What it does. Zero, almost. Then max bass and then murder melodies, and I've done spreading, nothing else. Just use it as a stereo spreader. And then Hates delay. And exactly the same slap delay thingy that I had in the other ones. And together they sound like this. Really dull, but it's in your face. Face. With everything. Without the delay. Oh! What? Ah! I can't. Let's again. With the delay. Space around it, yeah. Then we have the lead one here. Either VMR. Well, we have boosted 7K, 200K, 200 Hertz. Then the Neve does 7.2K and then max bass and then mod delay. This is stereo, yeah. Here. VMR. Again, brightness, max bass, low end, and mod delay. After that, it's mono, 20%, feedback 10. It does a little slap in there. Then all the guitars are going to the stereo channel here, it seems. In there we have VMR. Max bass. Then I have a Doppler just to widen things up. I have a limiter. I have an EQ, cutting low end. Then I have a stereo imager, more widening. And a violet EQ doing high end. And without and with all the guitars. Without. And with. Brightness and wideness. Usually when I'm doing live studio mixes, I have one guitar mic, and it's usually it's there, it's mono. That's why I needed to make some kind of EQ thingy that I can spread it. I could just put some Doppler or something just to widen it up, or murder melodies or something like that. But I wanted to have something more, and I made this channel, and after that I've used it. What I sometimes do is drag the channel VRR, that the basic EQing is the same, but the other ones, max bass, Doppler, limiter, everything is exactly the same, and just doing widening for everything. Then with all the guitars, widenings, delays without the reverbs, let's go to the reverbs. We have the compressor and the widening stuff here. Let's take the compressor first. So we have the compressor here. Exactly the same compressor and the drums. Little bit different settings. It's synth leads mass, but I think I've done EQing a little bit. And without and with. Let's go to the start. And with the compressor. Without. With. So it's leveling things a little bit, bring it forward. Then the widening thing, we have a stereo imager from Solid State Logic. It's included in the Steven Slate's package, VMR. And here I have a minus 10 dBs. SSL has brightened, I've brightened 8K 3 dBs, 1K 3 dBs, taken 200 Hertz, boosted 3 dBs, then API I have boosted 12.5K 1 dB, and then virtual mix. Bass and width out and width. Just again, make it a little bit wide. I love the delay. And then we have the slap, we had the delay, we had the reverb, we have the flanger and lo-fi, and then the repeater. I'll bring those up by them one by one. Oh my god. Guitars without. Slap. Little bit room in the sides. It's making a little bit room. Reverb. Again, making the stops go a little bit further. Flanger. To me, the flanger is doing a little bit movement to the overall frequency spectrum and stuff like that. Then the other slap. Again, give it a little bit of room, and then all of it. Without. So it's giving a little bit, little more, it doesn't stop so quickly to me, and giving it a little bit space for overall. Let's hear the drums, bass and the guitars together. At some point, when I'm telling you this, it started to my ears sound really bright. Everything is really bright. But now when I listen, it doesn't sound like that. It's, I don't know. It just is. Then we have the keyboard thingies. It's basic thing. I have a, let's go to the keyboard. Oh, not there. Keyboard part here. Let's take a little bit of all. We have the keyboards here. Again, they are a little dark. Let's engage the keyboard bass. I have a Pultec here. I'm doing boost in 10K, 18K. Nothing much. Virtual mix rack, I have a FG36A, little bit 3 dBs, 20K plus 12 dBs, and that's it. And it gives it the sparkle. And the first synth I have here is, let's go here. I've done the autopan again here. It was, I think it was a mono channel, so I've done the autopan. So I've given it a little bit of movement in the left right because it's so it's not so dull. And then I have a distortion here, it's popping out. Yeah, it's jumping in your face. And also the other ones I only have distortion there. Yes. Then let's go here. We have these three here. The first one is without anything. It's just basic synth. The second one is on right. I have a trim, so I have done something. I've raised the volume, so it's in the same level. Nothing much. Third one is I've put Harrison tremolo panner. Oh God, never used this. Or now once. I tried to find something different. Let's see what it does. I don't even remember. Nice. It gives it a little vibe. Then for the optical compressor of Arvid, this I use a lot in vocals in live situation. I have Avid consoles on my company, so this is what I use a lot. It's a good leveler, really see through. So we are doing pumping thing, nice. Yeah, so I've made a sidechain type of thing, and then auto panner that brings it left to right. Yes. Then we have these wipes here. Let's see what they do. First this basic rise. I've just put distortion there. Yeah, little grit there. And the other one, small thing like that. I've put distortion and auto panning there. Distortion looks like this, and auto pan is doing really fast thing. Oh, yeah, cool. All the keyboards together with the plugins. And it seems I've put the other one on left and other one on right because then we have the most effect of it. If we have it in mono in the center, I don't think it will pop out of the mix much as it does now. Then I have the stereo here. We have the virtual mix rack, EQs, compressor, max bass, Doppler, like we had it in the guitars, limiter, EQ, low cut, and violet EQ. And all of this with the keyboards are sounding like this. Little bit brightness and a little bit widener sound. Then we have the keyboard EQ widening thing. I have the stereo imager here. And then again the LA2A, leveling things up. SSL EQ bringing up 3K 3 dBs, 1K 3 dBs, 200 Hz 3 dBs, and the API is doing 12 dBs of 12.5K. And it sounds like this. So it's making it really wide. It's starting to hear, it's exciting now. Now we have the reverb here. I have the VSC here again. Normal FG 480 Hall large plus states 1.8 seconds. Nothing else much, and it's on all channels. And it sounds like this. Let's mute the vocals and hear everything together. I like when I can hear the room in the drums. It's lots of multiple things, but still. You can hear the keyboards in different channels. Guitars going left to right. Solo. Oh, cool. Nice. I didn't know what that is, but let's keep it there. Don't tell anyone. Let's take the vocals then. Like we had one channel, so vocals, second channels with the second voice vocals. Let's start with that. So we have one vocal here, so it's a lead. Let's go there and listen.
Sense of it all, the kind of vision no more.
Basic vocal, we did something, we saw what is the frequency response of that. I usually bring, with the template, I bring C4. It's a multi-band compressor of waves. I have it in vocal. I don't think I haven't messed this. Maybe the threshold. Then I have a Steven Slate Aosis de-esser. Then I have a limiter. Then I have a virtual mix rack, usually set to 20k, but in the 0, and I raise it up if I need to. Revival is simmer is around 8 and thickness is always full, because I always need the thickness of the vocals, and it sometimes disappears. So I made it in the template that the thickness is full blast, and sorry about that. It just does different kind of thickness. It's not straight boosting something EQ wise. It does something. I think there's some kind of harmonizing thing going on in the revival. That's in there, and then I have put EQ. So okay, I have boosted more 20k, 1k, taken down 600 Hz, boosting 500s, and cutting 108k, and it sounds with the template things and plus, it sounds like this. Without first and then with.
As I just say it all out, there is no sense of it all. The kind of vision no more. Only the left and remorse. Notice by your reflection. Don't recognize this person. So easy to just let go. Cause my ribcage feels alive.
Nothing much, but little things. C4 is doing different frequencies, leveling a little bit. De-essing is cutting a little bit de-ess things from here and there. Limiter now is doing basically nothing because we have only the one vocal without plugins, but it's maintaining the peaks of the vocals. That's what I'm getting to with the L1 limiter, the peaks. And the EQs bring a color to it. Let's engage the channel plugins. And these are also what I bring with the template. I have a channel that is named Vocal Delete. And I just copy the reverb sends and the plugins to the channels, and that's it. And then I delete it. First we have a trimmer. I'll take down 9 dBs of the vocal.
Yes, I just say it all out.
Then I have a
There is
wave
no sense
Sibilan.
of it all. The kind
It's
of
taking
vision no
S's
more.
and
Won't let
stuff
the
like that
laughter
away a
serve us. Notice by your
little.
reflection. Don't recognize
Then I have
that
a
person.
virtual mix rack.
Yes, I
Again, I have a saturation virtual channel, SSL EQ, but I'm just cutting down the low end to 100. Then I have the VCA compressor doing fast stuff, fast in, fast out. The tube compressor is doing vocal super smooth preset, and I've tweaked that. I think it's doing the slow stuff, and then I have the API, but it's doing nothing because we've done the things, most of the things beforehand. It's without and with.
Yes, I just say it all out. There is no sense of it all. The kind of vision no more. Only the laughter.
Here you can see the fast things,
your reflection.
slow
Don't
things.
recognize
Fast,
that person.
slow.
So easy to just let go. Cause my ribcage feels alive.
Yes. Okay, then I've copied it to the next. Exact same channel. What I've did, I've take the trim, same thing, Sibilan, same thing, VMR is the same thing, yes, and then the murder melodies. I love the murder melodies. I've done spread, full wide, dimensions, so I think it's like reverb thing, spatial dimension, it's 50%. I have a little bit of fire, at warm saturation, and high pass filter in 200 Hz. And this by itself sounds like this.
Yes, I just say it all out.
So it's giving a space behind the lead vocal without reverbs. And with the vocal itself.
Yes, I just say it all out. There is no
Without
sense of it all. The kind of
dead.
vision no more. Only the laughter sermons. Notice by your
With
reflection.
it, little room behind it. All right. Then I have copied it again. And like you see here, it's cut to pieces. Here I have the same thing. Trim, Sibilan, virtual mix racks, and modern melodies. And I have pitched it down. Basically everything is the same, but I've pitched it down 9 semitones. And it sounds by itself, it sounds like this. Let's see here. Here. So cool. To me, we need it, or this song needs it. So, let's take that apart, that part here. It's the basics vocal. Then the room.
I made a deal with myself. Yes, it all starts to end.
Then the 9 semitones down.
I made a deal with myself. Yes, it all starts to end.
Sounds so cool. We have the body of some monster behind it. I love it. I was excited when I did it because it sounds so cool. Then we have the backing track. I think we have the same things here. Trim, Sibilan. Basically exactly the same. Little bit volume change just a little volume change in a compressor, nothing much. By itself it sounds like this. Let's find a place. Here.
Wait with me! Wait with me!
Then exactly the same things, and then the murder melodies, and I think it's the same thing in here. I've made a room. Yes. So I've made a room behind it, and it sounded like this.
Wait with me!
And with the lead vocal, or
Wait with me!
the same room in behind. And then a third time. I think the murder melody is the same thing. Yes. 9 semi-pitch down, and it sounds like this.
Wait with me! Wait with me! Wait with...
Yes. So we have the monster behind there, and all vocals together at that part. Let's start it from here.
Bathe with me! Bathe with me! Bathe with me! Bathe with me!
Sounds really cool. Okay, then we have the effects. We have 2 reverbs, 4 delays, 1 doubler and 1 distortion channel. Let's start with the distortion channel. First we have a sibilance here. That it's
with me!
taking lots of the sibilance away. Then I have the Sans amp, and then I have an EQ that it's boosting low ends, cutting some frequency in the middle, and boosting high end. And with it in the all.
Bathe with me!
Boosting it.
Bathe with me! Bathe with me! Bathe!
So we have that kind of distortion behind it. First reverb, we have VSC again. I think I'm using VSC in every reverb is a VSC, except the space in the drums, yeah. Again, we have the same large plus stage, little bit pre-delay, nothing much. With the vocals, it sounds like this.
Bathe with me! Bathe with me! Bathe with me!
So it's making the room a little bit bigger, giving it a little space, tying everything together. The second reverb is the vocal heaven, 1.3 seconds, little bit pre-delay, 11, little bit chorus, little bit high boost, and with everything.
Bathe with me! Bathe with me!
Without
Bathe with me! Bathe with me!
the second reverb is giving a little bit high end. The other one is making a little dark room, and then the other one is a little bit higher sounding. Then I have the slap. I started with the CLA slap, and I've done tweaking here, and it sounds like this.
Bathe with me! Bathe!
It's just slap, and it's so little that you don't even hear it. And it wasn't even on. Let's try it again. Slap.
Bathe with me! Bathe!
Little. Then the 8th delay note. How's that sounding?
Bathe with me! Bathe with me! Bathe with me! Bathe with...
To me, what delay does in the vocals is when it's slap delays, 8th and slap, it gives more reflection with all, because if you have just reverb, it's something closed, synced or played in the room, something closed sounding in made up room. Basically you have put closed mic in room that just echoes, but the slap gives it the space to like move a little bit. So it with the reverbs you make like a room in so to speak. Then I have the long delay, and it's also going to the reverbs. So I want the delay throats going to the reverb also, and they sound like this. Actually, we need. Well, there was.
Bathe with me! Bathe with me! Bathe!
I have automated it, so here we don't have the delay.
Lead me nowhere but
So it's on and off. And then we have the Doppler. I think I have a Doppler for 4 voices is the setup, and I don't change it. It just sits there. It's from Waves, and it's
lead me nowhere
just widening things. And now all the vocals with all the instruments, with all the plugins, with all the EQs, with all the compressors, with everything on. Let's listen to a little bit. Let's then check a little bit about the automations that I've done, because you can basically copy these. You can take these presets and EQ things and whatever, and I think it would still sound different, because the balancing is also one big thing that makes a difference, and also the automation. And even though I bring template full of stuff here, I make changes for those, and I try to evolve and go forward with the mixing thing all the time. So even though you can copy these, it doesn't matter, but it will still sound different when you do it. And that's the fine part of this business, and that's why I love music, because we can all make a difference. And I encourage every band to try different mixing engineers. So sometimes the one that feels the most like the one can be the best one. Try it out. It might change and make a difference. But here, with everything, let's go to the top of the song and listen a little bit. I couldn't stop. It sounded so good. The song is really good. I was blessed to get the mix and record the drums and mix the whole thing. I would love to do more music like this, and with this band, I like the songs. Let's jump a little bit into the automation side before we wrap this up. So what we can now see, I have the channels here. Bass, nothing. In the snare pass, I have, let's put the snares on. I have the groups here. Snares here. And we have a here snare bass automation to volume. Let's see what happens. So lots happens, but in the other end. So I have those in the first part. I have volume changes. Then no, tom reverb, no. Here we have the big reverb. There we have a lot. So we have start at the song. We have the long reverb. It's really long. And then we go to the, I think the vocal starts here. Tempo change. Not, no, vocal doesn't start here, but a little bit after that. But I cut the long reverb down. Let's hear what it does. Yeah, because we got this fast-based thing going on. We can't have a big reverb behind it. We could actually lower that more, but that's my decision back then. And then we go up again here. Then down. Because we have a little bit slower pace, we can do bigger, and then really fast we go lower, and then a little bit up in here. I really like the sustain of the snare drum popping up, what we did, the sustain track. I really like that. Yeah, that's it. We have that kind of changes there, like bass volume choice things. Guitar, we have a stereo, the widening, brightening thing we have in the first section. Let's take all the guitars here. And we have first higher, let's do this. And then it's lowering down. I think I've tried to do here is make it a little bit darker, a little bit more mono, because it's the A part basically. And here, when we jump here, we go back to the brighter, wider. It's a little bit wider, a little bit brighter with the break stuff. In the end, we have lower. And then we stop, jump back. Little bit brighter, little bit wider. Then we have keyboard thing, keyboard bass. raises up in the middle part of the song because it start with this and then it raises in the middle part. And yes, let's listen. I'll take all the synth parts here. Let's listen. It starts from here. Then we go here with it's coming up, and then we are in here. We are yes. Then in the vocal section we have vocal pass. We have changes here. Let's see. All the vocals. We have changed here. Yeah, because we have the I've lowered it a little bit. Let's see here. Nothing. Yeah. Just a little, I would say dB and a half. Yeah. And also we have a delay things here. We have without delay. We had the tempo changed, so that's why the delay changed. And we had that shout there, then nothing. Then we have delay here.
Bathe with me! Bathe with me!
I think it's bathe. So is it like washing up? Bathe. I think so. Now we learned something new.
With me!
More drastic delay. Then we don't have delay, and then we have the delay in the end. And last we have the volume change in the master here. Okay. Those are the bass volume things that we have. Let's change the view to volume. What kind of changes we have here? Yes, we have drums. We have a trigger thing is here. Let's see. Let's hear the trigger. So we have. And now it starts too fast. It goes to quieter. Then we go back to the.
With the left hand side was no.
Let's take vocals away. We can raise the ambience mics back because it's shorter or longer breaks. And with here it, yeah. So it's faster, so less ambient mics. And then let's listen with the trigger near mics, the changes. So we have the near mics closer now when we don't have the ambience so close. And let's go from here, the, yes. So we have more space in there. What else? What else? What else? What else? We have here drum machine. What kind of changes we have here? Volume lowering. Yes. And here we had the reverb. Bass doesn't have anything. Guitars we have here, we have yeah, I'm just lowering the lead away from the vocals. And here we have the same thing. It's lowering. Then we have the solo. Yeah, it's lowering down. We have a guitar stereo that we checked. Keyboards, nothing. Vocals, we only have backing track vocals. We have volume changes here. So robot is coming. It's a little bit louder and stuff like that in there. Let's see, what else do we have? Mute. We have no mutes here. Let's see all the mutes. There's a little things here, panning stuff. No pan automations here. I've done quite little. Let's see. Pan left, pan right. All right, nothing much. Then I think we have effect things here. We have effect. Effect mute. No, we don't have those. Reverb. No. Wide. Quite little. Actually. Well, there you go. Here you go. You were witnessing my mixing procedure with this Offknives album or EP or what you can call it. Song called Bathe. Now I heard it. I learned it. Bathe. I like this song. I would love to do more stuff with the band. I would like to do more stuff with your bands. Give me a holler. Or holla at me, like Samuel says. Holla at me. I would love to do your songs. I have done classical music. I have done jazz music. I have done dance music, EDM, rock music, heavy music, everything. Everything suits me. I would love to do those. Let's listen to this at once, and straight away after this, go listen to the song on the Spotify and Apple Music and Tidal and YouTube and whatnot. You can hear the mastered version. It's way better after the mastering. Thank you. I'm Mika Paananen. My company is Ambient Audio. Back in the camera, Samuel Sozela. Thank you, everybody. Let's listen to it one more time and enjoy. Let's see if we can do the videos again, but see you sometimes. Bye.
Moi, mä oon Ville. Mä oon toinen Offknivesin kitaristeista ja yksi perustajajäsenistä. Ja heti alkuun mä haluan esittää suuret kiitokset Ambient Audiolle ja erityisesti Mika Paanaselle siitä kaikesta huikeasta työstä, mitä he tekivät meidän debyytti-EP:n Nevertheless I Feel His Proud kanssa. Vuonna 2023, kun bändin kanssa päätettiin, että halutaan lähteä työskentelemään debyytti-julkaisun kanssa, niin otin sitten heti ensimmäisenä Mikaan yhteyttä. Ja Mika otti heti kopin vastaan tästä hommasta ja lähti ohjaamaan ja neuvomaan meitä nuoria tyyppejä, keillä ei ollut mitään käsitystä siitä, miten nauhoitusprosessi toimii. Niin hän ohjasi meidät kaikki läpi tässä prosessissa, näytti miten hommat toimii, neuvo ja toimi eräänlaisena mentorina meille siinä hommassa. Ja en olisi voinut toivoa parempaa tyyppiä kuin Mika, kenen kanssa lähteä työskentelemään nuorena bändinä ensimmäisen julkaisun parissa kuin hän. Ja jos ikinä kuka tahansa tarvitsee rautasta ammattitaitoa keikoillensa tai nauhoituksiinsa tai miksaamiseen, niin Ambient Audiolla on oikeat kundit joka hommaan. Ja haluan vielä esittää koko bändin puolesta suuret kiitokset näille ammattitaitoisille kundeille, kuten Mikalle, kaikista työstä, mitä he tekivät meidän kanssa. Ja toivottavasti tulevaisuudessa päästään myös työskentelemään heidän kanssa lisää mahdollisesti tulevien julkaisujen tai keikkojen parissa.
It's